Okay.
Hi, so welcome, baby Jane. I'm so excited for us to be chatting today. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nancy. I'm an herbalist. I make natural remedies to help people heal their bodies. And so today I'm excited to be talking to baby Jane, who's one of our customers, who has tried a lot of our different natural products. And I want to find out a little bit more about her, get to learn about the whole point of these sessions is to learn more about my customers and what their struggles have been and what their journey has been to find us. And so, baby Jane, welcome.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. No, thank you. I so appreciate people's time because I know we're all so busy. So for you to take the time to meet with me, I truly appreciate it. And can you talk a little bit about what your health journey has been? Of course, disclose what you feel comfortable disclosing, and how you found us.
Yeah, it's going to be a little TMI, but with the with the whole tea that we're drinking, it kind of makes sense that it's going to be TMI. It's kind of given, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess just a little bit of background about myself, and I guess my husband as well, because we're going through this journey together right now. He's also drinking your tea. He's like busy right now, so he's not able to like join us. I didn't even think about asking him if he wanted to.
No, that's okay. It's girl talk.
Yeah. So we have been trying to conceive for about 2.5 years now. He is military, so he was deployed for a little bit. So calendar year, yeah, 2.5 years. But really it's only been 2 years. However, it's still a long time, to be conceiving. The natural or the normal thing apparently is what I've heard was only averaging around a year. And then after that, into infertility and stuff like that. And so we still have our hopes very high right now, especially with starting the tea. How we found you was, okay, I guess TMI, back to me, before I go into finding you and your product. So I just, ever since getting off birth control pills, I was on birth control pills for about 6 years. Getting off birth control pills, literally the most uncomfortable feeling during periods. And like I said, TMI, but I would have such heavy flows. I would be in so much pain. I would literally pass out. It would be to that point. And so I was just like, enough's enough. I don't know what's going on. I think I have endometriosis. And so I wasn't diagnosed with PCOS. Pretty sure I don't have PCOS because I do ovulate regularly and I do have it's regularly, pretty much clockwork. So at the end of the day, endometriosis, or I do have a retroverted uterus. So that could be from what the pain is coming from as well. And so the past 2 years of trying to conceive, honestly, it has been physically painful because sex after getting off birth control just for some reason totally changed my body. I don't know if it's my hormones or just my uterus or whatnot, but sex has been so painful for 2.5 years.
Wow.
It's to the point where it was so uncomfortable that I didn't want to have sex sometimes because I'm just painful. We couldn't do specific positions, and then we would have to strictly do one position. And honestly, I would try to get it over with as fast as we could, just trying to conceive. And it's just say that because it should be a beautiful thing, right? Having sex should be a beautiful thing, making, creating a human being, a fun thing. And so one day I was literally passing out in my bed and I was just like, this is enough. Like, I gotta do something. And I don't know, there's all these conspiracies about how your computer and your phones and whatnot can like hear what you're saying, what you're going through. And literally, I don't know what happened. I was just on TikTok and your video popped up, and it was just the list. You know how you always have all these posts that has like the list of the things that people are going through, right? And honestly, people may think, if they follow you, and they may think it's like, oh, it's annoying, but it's like the first thing I saw, and I was just like, endometriosis was not on your list, but
Uh-huh.
everything else that I was just like, I don't know. I've never been diagnosed. You can't really be diagnosed with endometriosis unless you get cut open. Um, and I was just reading it, and it said fertility, PCOS, everything like that. And so I was like, I'm just gonna try it. It wasn't pricey at all. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, it's pretty average. It's natural, organic stuff. Everything you get nowadays, it could be cheap. It could say organic, but it still has like all kinds of chemicals on it. So I was like,
Mhm.
Etsy, whatever. I bought stuff off of Etsy. I'm not worried about it. So got your stuff. And the first thing I bought was the Super Womb Tea and the Rooster Booster, right? Um, and so I drank the tea, and I want to say it was several days before my ovulation. So I was in that phase. And I don't really know the phases too well, but I was in that window. And I was still like, I was like, I don't want to have sex. I just am so uncomfortable. And I drank the tea, I want to say, for 3 days. And mind you, I only drank 1 cup a day. And I know yours says like 2 to 3 cups a day, but I
Mhm.
was like one to just kind of ease into it.
Mhm.
Um, I'm all right, TMI, but uh, my husband and I had sex, I want to say a few days after, and it was like I came alive or something. I don't know what happened. Um, but even my husband, like the next few nights we were having sex, and he was like, you need to stay on this tea. Like, what is going on? And I was like, I don't know if it's the tea. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I just kept drinking the tea. And we found out we weren't pregnant. It's fine. It's like the first time we've drank it. I think it was like literally the first month we drank it. I also cut out alcohol, so it helped out a lot too.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was going to a I was going to a work function all the way in Yuma.
Okay.
So I'm sure that's like 3 4 hours away, right? And I was gonna be there all day, and that was gonna be the first day of my period. And I was like, my sex life has changed because of this tea. I know my period's probably gonna change. And so this is why I was holding off on writing any kind of review until
Mhm.
after period. Um, like I said, I always pass out on my first day of my period just because the pain is so unbearable. My body just shuts down, and I have to be at home. I'm teleworking usually. And I was like, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I was out there all day. I had some pains for sure, like, it's normal, but I did not get any kind of feeling of wanting to pass out. I didn't feel faint at all. I honestly had several cramps here and there. And then after that, I just want to say my entire body just was able to release everything. So then my period started flowing, no problem. Um, and my period usually typically lasts around 7 days.
Okay.
And my period has now officially become 2 flow days, and then 2 to 3 more days of just,
Yes.
whatnot. So maybe around five, 4 or 5.
Yes.
And it's amazing. It's like honestly life changing. I know this is like, people are like, okay, whatever, but 2.5 years of basically living like this, just
Yes.
preparing to pass out once a month. It's
Mhm.
normal. And all of we try to eat as healthy as we can. I'm Filipino, so I try to do home cooked meals all of the time. But
Yeah.
even like the vegetables and the fruits that you get from stores, all of the chemicals, are in there. And
Yes.
so we are trying to we're just trying to eat a little bit healthier and trying to drink this tea as much as we can. And so my husband, over to my husband now. And I just got done drinking your tea, by the way. I
Yeah.
literally drink everyday thing. Yep.
Yeah, me too. This is what I have right now. I have to have it.
Yeah, I do too. And honestly, just 2 months of just being on this journey, basically with your tea, it's life changing. And I just can't even finish my day without drinking your tea. So if I didn't drink 1 cup at least a day, I would just feel off. Literally, my body would just feel different.
Yes.
Um, And I noticed that because you're not supposed to drink the tea when you're on your period, right? And I'm just like, be done already, be done, because I'm just so ready to drink my tea already. And so now over to my husband, and so he hasn't been drinking the tea. He didn't start drinking the tea until up until like maybe several weeks ago, because he's just like one of those, he's like, oh, okay, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he went to get a sperm analysis and everything looked normal, except he had a lot of whiteheads
Okay.
in his sperm analysis. And so he looked at me, he goes, maybe I need to get on that tea. I was like, maybe you do. And so I think we're going to get him checked again within the next few weeks to see if anything has changed. But even he says too, he's like, I'm out of tea, because I make our tea. He's like, I need some more tea. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I try to make sure he gets at least a cup a day. So yeah, he loves it too. He's like, I honestly love drinking this tea every day because it tastes good. It doesn't like, and we're not tea people. Like, I tried so hard to get into tea just to kind of jump on the bandwagon, but nothing got me into tea until I had your tea. And honestly, I don't think I can drink any other tea, just because other teas, they just have all kinds of different flavorings that are not necessary. And your stuff is so natural. It just feels like when you're drinking it, your body just gets cleansed. And
Yes.
we are going to be doing, so we did talk to a fertility specialist yesterday, and we are going to be doing the IUI. So I'm going to continue to drink the I'm going to continue to drink the tea up until I get pregnant.
Yes.
Just because it helps with my period too. Honestly, I can't not drink it anymore because of my period. So.
Right, right. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so excited you both are enjoying the tea. And you know, the teas were made for women who wanted something natural but are not the natural people. They don't drink the tea. So it was made with a lot of intention to be super light and to be shocking too. Because a lot of the times we think, oh, it's medicine. It's gonna taste like crap. No one wants to drink that. And you have to force yourself to drink it. And when people have it, they're like, oh, wow, this tastes really good. Like, this is seriously going to heal me. And I'm like, yeah, just wait and see. It's going to help you. But that's great. I'm so excited you both are drinking the tea. My husband and I both drink Super Womb tea, and he drinks Rooster Booster. We love the teas. I make them in batches. And so he also tells me, hey, I'm running out of tea. Can you make me some? And so I love it. And that really the focus of our brand is relationships. It's having a healthy relationship as a couple, enjoying both of each other, your reproductive system as much as you possibly can. You know, as when you're living together and you have a healthy relationship like that, it only brings more unity together. And so we see that. And so we try to bring what we have learned as a couple to try to project it out to everyone else in hopes that people will accept it and receive it. So it's so amazing. I'm so excited for both of you. And so you've been drinking the tea for about 2 months now, you want to say?
Maybe a month and a half now.
Okay.
But yeah, and I drink it religiously now. I just can't not drink it anymore. I'll drive to work and be like, I forgot my tea. I will drive all the way back home. Be like, I need my tea. I cannot write, and I can't read these emails. I can't write these emails without.
Yeah. It's so true, you know, and I don't know if you've noticed this or if you've seen some of my videos where I talk about this, where some women have had some sort of trauma happen to them, let it be all, you know, different levels. It doesn't have to be always sexual abuse, but it could be in some form of that affects your uterus or us as women, or just our spirit as women. The tea will start to release certain emotions. And so I always get feedback, and I don't talk a lot about it because I don't want to scare a woman from trying it, but it's also healing you spiritually. So I can see how you're like, I feel the difference when I don't drink the tea. Like I can't function if I don't, because it's almost like it's such a calming way of you just feel so calm and relaxed, and you're ready to just kind of move forward and take that step forward to whatever your day is. I recently made a video saying, set the tone for your day. And it was just a little hint, because you're setting your tone. You showed up for yourself. You're doing something for yourself. And that's part of healing as well. too.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought that up because I actually my specific job is sexual assault victim advocate. And I work with service members that have been sexually assaulted.
Mhm.
Never thought of that. So that's pretty awesome, honestly, because there are women who are afraid to have sex after sexual. There's lots of people who, and I've listened to all kinds of seminars, went to all kinds of seminars and listened to speakers and stuff like that. And they were like, ever since I was raped, I
Mhm.
cannot have sex. And it feels,
Mhm.
um, even with partners they've been with for years. So honestly, that's actually a really great point. And I think that if I end up having, thankfully, I don't have a client that's going through that right now. And if I do end up having a client like that, I think this would just be a great thing to recommend to them. And I
Yes.
I message you once in a while, and I comment on your TikTok. So I'm sure you saw the video or the comment about my sister-in-law who is going through some issues with her cervical region area. And yeah, I recommended it to her. I actually bought her a bunch. I bought her the super womb tea and the cleanser or the liver detox, I think. And I've just been recommending. She's still kind of like, they're kind of hesitant. They kind of,
Yeah.
it's like I tell them no, it's like life changing, and like they're like, I don't think it's gonna be the same for me. So I don't know if I started it yet, but I did get her on it, and we'll see what she says about it whenever she gets started on it. I know she's going through her journey as well. So
Oh,
um
that's wonderful. Thank you so much. A lot of our customers come from either social media, and social media is a hit or miss if the algorithm likes what you're saying, which normally they don't because you're combating a big pharma. They don't want to hear about natural medicines. They don't want to hear about, what you just mentioned about how food is toxic. It doesn't have the same nutritional value. And when you drink a cup of tea, especially if it doesn't have the sprays, the killer of the bugs and all of that, it's very organic, and you can get your vitamins and minerals from just drinking the tea. And that's why we're seeing the results that we're seeing. But I'm so glad that you are able to share with the rest of the people that you know, because that really is so meaningful for us. Because, of course, if we love something, we're going to tell everybody about it. And
honestly,
that really tells us.
yeah, I even have another friend who messaged me. She's like, dude, you need to send me the link to whatever tea you're drinking because I almost passed out in the airport. And this is the first time. And I was like, you're going through a lot of stress. But honestly, yes, you should get on this. She's like, loves tea and whatnot. So yeah, I posted it on I didn't tag you, but I don't know if I'm following you on Instagram. I posted on Instagram and I was like, this tea has changed my life, literally. And obviously I don't want to do too much TMI. And so many people were messaging me, they're like, what's this tea? What's this tea that's so life-changing? And I was like, well, I don't know if you have the same issues as I do. However, like tell them about it and they're like, oh, this is amazing, my cousin has PCOS and yada yada. And I'm just like, oh, okay, great, yeah, like recommend this to them. um and so I am a diehard Chi-est beauty tea, as so I'm already at a lot of your other products and looking at, like, the deodorant and stuff like that. I've been wanting, because we're Filipino and in the Philippines we do have natural ingredients that we use as well. It's just hard to get shipped over here. um
Okay.
so we have like the deodorant crystals that they use in the Philippines.
Yes.
I can't get it unless I go all the way down to San Diego or something, or all the way down to, very southern San Diego, and then Philippines, like shipping, like there's no way. So
Oh yeah, it's expensive. Yeah, yeah. And the RT goes worldwide, and our deodorant actually goes to the Middle East as well. But it is super expensive to get stuff shipped. And I always get customers saying, yeah, but I want to get your tea, but it's so expensive to get it out here. And I was like, I know, I'm so sorry. I wish
yeah.
it would be different, but yeah, it is what it is basically. Well, that's wonderful. I'm so excited for you. Please continue to keep me posted on your journey and what you're doing. One thing that I do recommend, have you tried our liver detox tea at all?
I do have that, and I do plan to do that. I kind of want to use it in conjunction with the IUI.
Okay.
Um, with the IUI, there are going to be a lot of chemicals that are going to go into my body. So
Mm,
whenever we are done with that series, I kind of want to get started on that because I think we have 3 series that we get to do. And so I was like, oh, okay, if I start it before, I'm still gonna have the chemicals in my body. So honestly, when we get the dates for the IUI, I may start it before too,
okay.
and go right into the IUI, and then after the IUI, do the liver detox after too. Um,
Yes, yes. And we've had some success stories also with women either trying our liver detox and our super womb tea, but also even adding acupuncture, fertility acupuncture. And so that has truly helped. I'm actually PCOS, so that's how the whole tea came about. In my 20s, and I'm 40 now, in my 20s, my mother-in-law introduced me to this tea. So it's a family recipe tea. And
oh,
yeah, so to tell you a little bit about me. And
go
so
ahead.
I feel like everybody knows this
A
because I
little.
talk so much,
I was like,
just
I
in
want.
case you don't know.
Yeah.
So in my 20s, I didn't have a menstrual cycle. I actually messed it up myself by being on and off on birth control. And so
Mm,
that really messed up my hormones. I didn't have a menstrual cycle for months and I was getting really nervous. And it would be like that for years. And of course, I wouldn't disclose it with anyone and share it with anyone. And I didn't know anything about natural teas. And I was barely getting into like green tea and white tea and stuff like that. And so then my mother-in-law was like, okay, so when are the grandchildren coming in? And I was like, oh, I better tell her. And so she's like, well, let me introduce you to this tea that we have in the family. And I'm like, what are you talking about, lady? And she's like, well, let's put it together. And so, yeah, from there on, oh my God, amazing. I loved it. Have 2 kids. And so I have a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old. And so, yes. And then um, when I stopped drinking the tea for a couple years, because I'm thinking, I'm fine, I don't need it, right? I have my kids. I started to notice that my period would start to fade away. And then I'm like, well, I'm getting older. I don't want to hit menopause at an early age. And so I started drinking the tea again. And then we opened up our shop 3 years ago, and I had a customer reach out to me saying, hey, I love your natural deodorant, but guess what I'm doing with it? And I was like, well, what are you talking about? She's like, I'm actually putting it around my growing area because, to try to keep fresh. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. It's not meant for that, but I can totally see how it would work. And it's all
mhm.
natural, so it's totally fine. But I'm very sensitive about the area down there. And so I was like, you know what? If you want extra freshness, you should definitely try this tea. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, there's a tea in my family that we drink all the time. Let me put it in the shop. You can get it from there and so on. I put it up. We were talking on social media through Instagram, and then everyone started asking me, what tea are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, it's a family recipe. I'll just put it on the shop. You guys can get it. So people started buying it that way. And then they're like, oh my God, this tea is amazing. It helped me with my UTIs. Oh, this tea is amazing. It helped me with my premenopause symptoms. And so it started to just kind of like gain this momentum and this rhythm with women saying, it really helped me with my PMS, my mood swings. I have women reaching out to me all the time saying, I'm getting ready to get a divorce because I hate my husband. And so I'm like, drink the tea, trust me, drink the tea.
It
And then I'm
came,
sending them tea for the husband too. And
yeah.
so it's been such a wild ride. I've been hanging on to this tea, not knowing how much it was needed until it was brought up. And then I'm like, I've just been blown away. My husband, my family has been blown away. They're like, oh my God, like, you better not sell out. Always have a reserve for us because I do keep a bucket for us because the family comes in and they pick up tea from us. And yeah, they're just like, this is insane. We can't believe it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's sometimes like it's just like one of those things when I discovered it, I was like, I need people to know about these items.
Yes.
So that's that's definitely the feeling you got. So that's awesome. It's just it's amazing that there's still natural things out there that honestly that people can buy and kind of just overlook, not overlook their diet or anything like that, but it does give me the leeway to be able to eat some of the things that I do love, right? Um,
Yes.
and so it's just, I'm glad that this tea came into my life. And I told my husband, I was like, if I do not pass out in this first period, I am a life subscriber. Like, I'm getting tea for the rest of my life, woman, because there's something in there. And he said it too. Like, I think it was like the third time that we had, had
Yeah.
sex. He was like, you need to stay on this tea. This tea is not just changing your life, it's changing my life right now.
Yeah, absolutely. See, this is what it's all about. And every day, I'm not, if you were to know anything about us, we're introverts. Like my husband and I are totally okay just living our lives and not doing nothing on social media. I didn't get social media until I opened up my business 3 years ago. And so just showing my face took a while. Even just I didn't see anyone talking about stuff that I was talking about online. And so that felt like I had some sort of identity crisis in a sense too. It's like, why is nobody else talking about this? And so I just kind of just kept going and kept going. And people are like, oh, this is really cool. This is really interesting. This is really helping me. And so then that just became, okay, well, if I make this video, it's gonna hit somebody.
Mm.
Somebody needs to hear this. And so that's been the momentum. But yeah, I'm so glad every time I meet people like you that are just like, this really helped me.
Yeah.
This is why we show up. This is
Yeah.
this is exactly why we show up every day.
Yeah. I do love seeing your videos sometimes, and I'm just like, I send it to people I know. And I'm just so thankful, because I'm thankful, like, the fact that you have all these videos, and who knows like which video I even saw, right? Like every single day you're posting basically the same video, but like who
Yeah.
knows which I actually saw, to where I'm like, let me just kind of look into this and kind of figure it out. And then as soon as I saw the Etsy profile, I was just like, skeptical. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel that way too. But at the same time, it's like, you got to take your health seriously. And sometimes it's on Etsy. Like sometimes it's on Etsy, sometimes it's on TikTok, uh,
Yes.
Instagram. You never know what's gonna, it's not always gonna be on Amazon. It's not always gonna be just at Walmart or at the pharmacy. So yeah, I definitely appreciate what you do. I appreciate what your family does. Like I said, I am a life subscriber. I'm actually going to be ordering another batch here within the next few days. So yeah, you'll probably see my order in soon.
No, that's wonderful. And what you're doing is wonderful. You are touching on a lot of topics that women are afraid to talk about publicly. But I think you look young, so that's wonderful, because we need more young women saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening to me." So it's hitting different ages, not just one. And it's
Mhm.
hormonal imbalances, and we can all be faced with those hormonal balances at any point, even if we try to eat healthy. So I'm super, super glad that you took the time to meet with us, because, when I publish this, and I hope you give me the okay to do so, uh,
Absolutely.
I'm going to do snippets on Instagram and, of course, on TikTok to kind of tease the audience a little bit. But the whole video is going to go up on our YouTube channel. So then I can direct people to say, hey, if this is you, this is what the tea can do for you. Because it is going to help so many people. There's so much that the owner can say and do, and people be like, oh, whatever, that's baloney. That's not really, that one tea does all of that. It sounds crazy. I know it sounds
Yeah,
crazy, but to
absolutely.
actually have people who are real life people who are trying the tea, who are seeing a difference, that is so meaningful. And you
Mhm.
almost bring me to tears every time I hear someone say, this really helped me. I'm like, I get emotional too, because it's all, the people behind me. Like I feel my ancestors here surrounding me, cheering me on, saying, hey, keep going. You got to keep going.
Awesome. Yeah, and this is, I don't know if this is like important to know, but when my husband and I were talking, because we talk about, fertility and stuff like that, I got very emotional, and I told him, I was like, if it hadn't been for this tea, I would have given up on our fertility journey. Like,
Oh,
honestly, if anything, it has motivated me more to jump back into our fertility journey, and really just take the steps to getting to where we need to be, because now I do have that liver detox too. And like, I know the super womb tea works. I know that liver detox is going to work too. So that's why, honestly, it's given me the more like the boost of morale to just continue on, because if it doesn't work out, and if it does, I still have the tea to fall onto as well. And it's going to be there to catch me if I'm feeling faint or if I'm feeling sick and stuff like that. I need the tea, and so I'm just very thankful for everything, especially for the videos you post every single day. I go on TikTok, I see your video, and I'm just like, my tea, I'm drinking it. This is what it's doing for me. We're getting there. I have read all of the reviews that were posted on your website as well and on Etsy and stuff. And I'm just like, yes, ditto. This is exactly how I feel. And it's just like, people may see that and be like, oh, these are fake reviews. But I'm like, no, like that stuff, it's real. Especially when you posted mine, I was like, that's my review. Like, my review never gets posted ever. And so it was just like one of those things where like, this is a real business. This is really someone who cares about the people she's doing this for. So it's just amazing. And so just like one review from one person, it may not seem like, you're not making a difference. I know you probably feel like you are, but you definitely are, right? You made a difference in my husband and our lives, basically. And I can't see myself never drinking this tea ever again. So thank you.
Oh, sounds wonderful. How beautiful. No, thank you. Thank you. Sometimes it does feel like, the videos are not moving. I'm like, I don't spend a lot of time on videos. I try to keep it as simple as possible, but it's like, I go out of my way and then the algorithm doesn't pick it up. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
TikTok. The censorship is real. But I'm super glad that the ones who need to see it are seeing it. So ladies, keep talking to your phone. In this time for this one thing, it's important for us to be like, if there's something out there that can help me for this and this and this and this, please have them find me. Have it find me. So we try to show up every day. We try to make it as interesting as possible.
Yeah.
And so if you have any ideas and content ideas, please shoot them my way, because sometimes it's just like, okay, what else do I need to talk about here?
Yeah, of course. That's awesome. I'll definitely shoot over some stuff for sure. I think the one thing that I didn't realize would make a difference was the sex, honestly. And so it's, obviously TMI and stuff like that. But when you are posting your stuff, people aren't looking at it as like, oh, my sex life is going to change too. But they're just looking at it. There's problems in my uterus, problems down there. I don't know how to fix it. But then, you realize like it does change your sex life too. So I can't remember off the top of my head what your post actually says, but that might be something too. There are women out there, and it's so weird. I never even noticed it when you were talking about the different age groups and whatnot. I totally understand that, because everyone in my age group right now that I know were trying to have children, have PCOS, have endometriosis, have all of these complications. We are all talking about how, wow, we should have had kids 10 years ago when we weren't this. But, now we have stable lives. We were on birth control. We're trying to, start our lives financially, going to college and stuff like that. And it's like the group of people that I know. And now we're all struggling to have babies. And we're just like, what is going on? And so, yeah, I think your posts are amazing. And I definitely look forward to seeing them. I know they're all the same sometimes, but I still look forward to seeing them and seeing the reviews too, like post people's reviews, because it just shows like more personal experiences and how people are going through it. And there's, you have your generic ones like, oh, amazing. But even that stuff, like, it's still good to see that. So it's like, you're not alone. You're not alone in the journey is how I see it. And it's nice to see that there's so many other people that need it too. And then I'm not the only one, and I'm not going crazy because, oh, maybe it's just me. It's just my body. There's people who have like 3 kids that for some reason can't have kids now, and then they get on your tea and then they're having kids, and I'm just like,
Yes.
that thing. So yeah, definitely. I'll definitely keep you posted on anything I'm going through for sure. We're going to be going through this fertility journey for the next few months. So I'll let you know how your tea works. I did have a question about that, if it's okay with you to
Yeah,
ask.
totally.
When it comes to the liver detox, I know you said that we can technically do it together with the super tea, but the liver detox is only every like 3 or 4 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so 1 cup of liver detox in the morning and then 1 cup of the superwood tea in the afternoon or something.
Yeah, so for both are 2 to 3 cups a day. And the purpose of the liver detox is to get rid of the waste that's sitting in your bloodstream, in your gut, around your liver. So then your liver can be optimized, can be fully functioning, and support the rest of your organs as well. And also cleanse the bloodstream. So if you're not eating the best healthy diet, if you have a lot of fatty foods, those are really the people that are going to see the biggest impact, because they're eating so poorly and eating a lot of sweets. You start to notice that you don't crave that stuff anymore. Just everything is towards heading towards having you eat healthy and having you be the healthiest as possible to continue to eat healthy and support your body. So the liver detox, you would drink 2 to 3 times a day, similar as super womb tea. And if you just drink 1 cup, then yeah, you would just do 1 cup. I would suggest in the morning, because that's your body will absorb whatever you're drinking a lot quicker. And so the liver detox will come in, cleanse you out, to remove what needs to be removed from your body. And then that way, super womb tea will have all the barriers out of the way. And it'll focus on strictly helping your uterus, your womb. And that's why I always recommend it for women who are struggling to get with fertility, was because let's eliminate what could be lingering in your body that can be blocking the fertility issue. And then once you do that, then you come in with super womb tea, and it's like everything's out of the way, and it'll focus on your womb.
Okay. And does the liver detox one, do I have to drink that at a certain time, or am I able to do that on my period? Is that something I'm allowed?
Yeah, you can do that during your menstrual cycle, any given time. The only thing is that we do say to drink it 7 to 10 days straight. So be consistent with it, because that's what you're going to see the best effect that way. Because if you drink it one time and then you don't drink it tomorrow and then you drink it again the next day, it's just not going to be consistent. It just needs that full force to cleanse you out. And then you would do it every 3 or 4 months. And we say that because the herbs are super potent. So you don't want your body to then become reliant on those herbs, especially if you have a poor diet and you're not behaving. The tea can only do so much, and then your body becomes reliant on it, and then you're still going to eat poorly. So it's really try to have a balance of both things.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, great. I have I think I'm gonna start the liver detox sometime this weekend, and then push it off until like maybe after the IUI stuff. So awesome. And I'll probably get my husband on it too.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna enjoy it too. And what's gonna help him too is with Rooster Booster. So then his count will go up. It'll clean up anything that's causing barriers with his own fertility. And the liver detox will cleanse him out too. So yeah, I drink it with my husband all the time, especially when he's not feeling his best and when he hasn't been eating the best diet. That gets him back on track.
Okay. So if we do the liver detox, we can drink 2 cups in the morning each, right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. And just know it is a little bitter. So it's not as smooth as Rooster Booster or Super Womb Tea. And that's intentional as well. Just because if you want to cleanse your bloodstream and the liver and get rid of any lingering fat that's sitting in your body, you need it to be aggressive, and you need it to be a bitter herbs. So then it can cut through all of that.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's honestly health that matters more than the taste. But I love the Supermoon tea. He loves the Rooster Booster, and we just together we're just like, oh, unstoppable with it. And
Yes, yes, yes. And then I tell this to women, if you really want to kick some butt and be like, you're 100% like greatness, do the liver detox and do the super womb tea. You're going to be kicking doors, like out of my way. I'm here. It's that powerful.
yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm assuming we're pretty much done. You don't have any more questions.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate it. I do have your address, and I don't know if you got this or not. When I was publishing videos, I'm going to give you a gift. So I'm going to send you and the hubby a little gift from us because I am so grateful. I know how hard it is to find some time to even just have a conversation. And so I'm super grateful. I'm going to send you guys a goodie box from the Chi-est Beauty.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll make sure to post it and then tag you guys in it. That's awesome.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you. Well, it's been fun, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
All right. Thank you, Nancy. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Bye.